Good evening, everyone, and thank you for watching a special Barry Beat podcast or web show streamed live from 802 Scoop, filmed right here in the Inside Scoop Studios, Main Street, Barre, Vermont. With us tonight, we have, you've got myself, Michael Booten, and then, of course, we have the ever-lovely Raylene.
Good evening.
And Liam Hogan from Hogan Group LLC.
Hello.
And former
Our
city
special
manager,
guest.
our special guest, former city manager Stephen Mackenzie.
Hello.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great.
Always love having you in here.
I'm great.
We need to get you in here more often, and you can just shoot the breeze for a while.
Tell us how not relaxing retirement is, right?
No.
You're probably
Well,
busier now than you've ever been.
Well, you hear that a lot from
I
a
do
lot
hear
of people. That you retire and you just get. I've gotten involved in a lot of civic stuff. I've always been involved, but just continued that, and I enjoy doing it. And it keeps you active.
Yeah.
But hey, that's important.
Yep.
It's very important. So we're going to be talking about, obviously, local news, city council stuff, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. And, of course, a special update from Stephen Mackenzie regarding the 143 initiative from Barre Area Development. So you have an update.
Yeah, I'm pleased and excited to let people know that we have reached our $800,000 goal. We've actually reached $800,350.
Yay.
We might receive a little bit more. There are some outstanding requests that we haven't heard back from yet, but nonetheless, we've reached 800,000, and that's if people have been following this, that's a reduced goal from the original 1.1 million. But the principal reasons for that reduction in goal is that the owner has agreed to two price reductions. The first was to $800,000, and then the second here about I can't remember, a month or so ago, to $775,000. So the at least verbally agreed sale price is $775,000, and I've always indicated that we needed more than the sale price to make this whole initiative successful. Mm-hmm. And the reason for that additional funding, which I had reduced to as little as $10,000, but we've actually got now $25,000 of reserve funding, and what that pays for is all of the campaign expenses to date, which are not a lot. Excuse me, about $4,000. And then it pays for activities that would eventually become the responsibility of the city, but we are going to cover those costs and actually implement those tasks as part of this transition. And the first is that the environmental site assessment, excuse me, for the property that was done 3 years ago is outdated, and it needs to be redone. It shouldn't take very much, but it needs to be redone, and that we understand will be around $3,500. We've already commissioned that work. That started. Then, in order to enroll the city in the BRELA, the Brownfields Limited Liability Program with the state, that application has to be completed, and that's a $500 fee. And then the balance, really, the intent is to turn over to the city to help offset, at least for a year, property taxes that would be lost because it'll now become a municipal property. Mm-hmm. So we'll cover at least 1 year of property taxes, if not a little bit more, and that's really just to facilitate the transition and help move the project along.
So I know most people, everybody probably, if you don't know what 143 North Main Street is, it's the old J.J. Newberry's
Right.
building, and I'm going to just show folks what it currently looks like now, which is anything but pleasant.
Pretty blighted.
It's
Pretty blighted.
pretty blighted.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to show the initiative what you're envisioning. And granted, it's an envision. And,
Yeah, that's the important point
you
to
know-
stress. That's just an architect's rendering that we work with. Black River Design did that concept work.
Potential.
It's a potential.
Well, yeah,
But, you know,
exactly. It could turn out to be something entirely different. But the intent of that exhibit was to, I think, show the dramatic difference between what is there now and what could be there in the future.
And it's not outside of the realm of possibility. I mean, I think
No,
this
no.
project feels very, very much like the City Place
Yes,
project. It's almost identical in its path.
It's City
Pretty
Place
close.
Part 2.
Yeah, part two.
Part 2, yeah. And the city will have sole control over how that property is developed.
Right. So it's very, like I said, almost identical to what happened, because that's what happened with City Place.
Yeah.
When the city bought, I mean, granted, the process was a lot longer for a period of time.
Well, this could be the same. This, you know,
Let's think that it's not going to be that.
Well, I'd like to, but you have to manage expectations too. I mean, there are a lot of people who want to know what's going to be there in 6 months. Well, there's
Probably
probably going to be nothing
nothing.
different in 6 months.
Oh, well.
So you got to manage expectations. But
I was gonna
I've
say a
always
vacant
said
lot.
from the beginning it could be 3 to 5 years. That's, I think, 5 years or close to 4 to 5 years is what the length of the City Place project from its inception, let's say. When the property was purchased by the city with a grant, and ironically, from the same two owners that own J.J. Newberry's. But the process, simply stated, was property had to be purchased, the buildings had to be raised, the lot prepared for a developer to come in. Eventually, the predecessor of Down Street was Central Vermont Community Land Trust. They were instrumental players. The city, the second year I think that I was manager, we issued an RFP for development proposals for that lot. We got 3 good proposals. Due construction was selected, and then they took the lead on the development of that property to the eventual construction of City Place. So it's going to be a very similar process. Hopefully it could be quicker, but time will tell. But probably the most important thing for the 143 Main Street initiative and the principal objective was to transfer the ownership of the property from the current owners to, in this case, the city, so that something could be done with it. If the property ownership didn't or doesn't transfer, it's likely to sit there for another 5 to 10 to 15 years in its current state.
And at the very least, while we all wait for something to become of this building, whether it be leveled, which it will be,
yes.
all of that. In the meantime, the facade doesn't have to look the way it looks right now. Then you could say, okay, volunteers are going to go and
that's true.
wash the windows or do some painting
Sure.
in the front, or that was not allowed prior to from the previous owner. I mean,
that's a
Mary-
really good idea.
Mary
I didn't
Jane,
even think about it.
I had spoken with her a couple of years ago, maybe a year and a half ago now. She told me when she was on the board that there was a group from the Barre Merchants Bureau that would go down and keep the windows and keep it looking decent.
They did, and I think they kept the
Yeah.
curtain up, and they even decorated the inside. I mean,
Yep.
sometime, if I remember correctly, at Christmas. But that's that's an example of what the transfer of ownership will do. It will allow
Right.
the community to try to do something with that building, whether it's short-term and interim, and then eventually long-term. So.
Yeah.
Well, super awesome. Glad that you were able to hit that.
Yeah.
And tomorrow night they're going to be voting on the purchase and sales agreement.
Yeah,
correct?
they're going to authorize, what's on the agenda is for the council to authorize the manager to sign a purchase and sale agreement that is acceptable to the manager, the Barre City Attorney, BADC's attorney. We've actually been negotiating that purchase and sale for the last at least week and a half. It's to the owner now. It's gone through their attorney's review. As part of the negotiation process, we made edits and changes. I'm hopeful that what is presented to the owner is acceptable. I expect to hear any time, whether it's by tomorrow or not, I don't know. But the idea is the intent is to have the city council's authorization to sign a purchase and sale once we reach an acceptable document with the owners. And then that starts a 120-day time clock to get to closing. I hope it won't take that long. I hope it could be in the 60 to 75-day range, but we were conservative in the time frame we built in because you just don't know
Right, you don't know
what's going to
attorney
arise.
schedules or anything. Yeah.
Exactly, and but that gives time to get the site assessment done and the umbrella application done. So I'm hoping, knock on wood and everything goes right, that in 60 to 75 days we can get to closing.
Nice.
So,
Excellent.
yeah,
Good
so
deal,
good
so-
news, I think.
Very,
Very
good.
good
We'll see what-
news. And thanks to the community for
Oh,
stepping
well,
up
absolutely,
and
yeah, I
chipping in like
absolutely.
that. I mean,
There's
huge.
There's a lot of things to go around, and we will acknowledge that. We have a mix of donations and pledges right now. Clearly, the foundation donation and the thing that was able to get this thing off the ground was the $400,000 donation from the city, or pledge from the city, if you will. The directors have donated or pledged another $75,000, and then the rest has come from the individuals and businesses within the community. But we've had donations as far away as Florida and even Massachusetts. So I don't know the individual. I mean, I know the names, but I don't know their relationship to the city. But there's got to be some strings there that go back to Barre, and people from as far away as Florida have donated. Which is great.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That is awesome.
yeah.
We'll have to keep Steve Mackenzie in our Rolodex for the next.
Well, I'd be happy. I'm
building
not
purchase
sure.
that we're going to do.
I'm not sure. I mean, I'll help, but I mean, this probably puts another burden in Nicholas Dorella Castro's lap that he doesn't need. But,
Probably, but he
But,
can,
but,
he
but
can
I mean,
handle it.
BADC as an organization will help. I mean, that's
Right, this is
part
what
of
we
our
do.
mission.
That's what you
So
do.
Right.
I mean, the idea is not to dump it in the city's lap and then walk away.
I know.
I mean, we'll provide as much support as we can and as much support as the manager needs or wants.
Well, and I see that there's some people out there saying that BADC's next move should be trying to get Amazon to come here somewhere, Barre Town. Yeah, to hell with Essex, put it
well,
Barre Town,
What I'd
Yeah.
well,
can-
who knows?
I'm just telling you.
I don't know.
I
I
see
mean,
that comment a lot.
So no, and I get it, and I've had this conversation with you about Act 250. We
Yeah.
have to have that conversation. Do we really want to do that?
Well, I mean, I think Essex.
I like the idea
Essex
of
went through that
next
very
day
same
delivery.
thing.
Yeah.
I mean, there was an initiative to get Amazon there, but there seemed to be local
Pushback, for
opposition or whatever that it wasn't a fit for the community.
Yeah.
And that's
Well, I'm sure
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
other communities that will host Amazon.
yeah.
Right.
All I know is it would be nice to, and Linda makes the point, which is what I was kind of alluding to, is whether or
Right.
not we really want that.
Right.
It does hurt local
Yeah,
businesses.
it does. But I'm just saying. that
Especially
I
when
keep
you get that
seeing
20
a lot. That that's what people are going to ask BADC to do next. Yeah.
Well,
I keep seeing that.
we welcome suggestions.
Amazon doesn't have, so I'll say this about Amazon. With the 2-day, it doesn't have as much of an impact. But when you get into same day and next day delivery,
Yeah.
that's where it
Yeah.
really kills. Because let's be honest, when we need something,
I
we're
agree
gonna
with
go
you.
we're gonna go down and get it from like
100%
Nelson's or
agree.
whatever.
100% agree.
We need it. We
Yeah.
need it now. And yeah, it could
There's
be a
one
problem.
there's one other comment I'd like to make. BADC, or this 143 Main Street has been it's probably about close to 18 months now since this was first conceived, and we've been working on it, and so it's been in the paper periodically. But BADC is a development organization for both the city and the town. And if you go to a BADC board meeting, there's no head count about who's in the town, there's never any discussion of city versus town in terms of the things that we're supporting, and we are trying to improve the attention to the industrial park, and or other small business in the town too. So, for a period of time, the focus seems to have been on 143 Main Street in Barre, but that's not to the exclusion of the town. And I think over the years, from what I've observed of BADC, in any given time, there may be an initiative in the city or there may be an initiative in the town. It was BADC that was the originator of the industrial park. The BADC, at that time, the directors, as I understand it, donated money out of their own pockets to fund the creation of the Malden Mills building, which is, the building is still there, Malden Mills isn't. But so BADC's focus is both the city and the town. At any given time, it may seem like it's a little bit more in one community than the other, but it's not that there's any favoritism involved. It's trying to develop those
just what the
opportunities in either
projects
community.
are.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this, in 5 years, if we have that beautiful building that's on your website, if it comes to fruition, there'll be another big, beautiful building that BADC has done in Barre.
Sure.
Yeah. Great
So
stuff.
thank you, Steve,
Well,
for
I'm happy
coming
to-
in. You're
yeah,
more than welcome to stick around.
Well, no, I've taken
know.
enough of your time, and we'll turn it back over to
Well,
Leah.
we're
Throwing it
just
over
gonna
to Liam.
we're just gonna chat about
I may sit around for
different
a few minutes, but I may
things.
sneak out.
You
I got
may
my pup in the truck, so
Oh,
Well-
why didn't you bring your pup in?
he's wild. So you know, you know.
That's true. That's
I
true.
just, while I think that there's probably several people that have tuned in for one thing, and while we're talking about property, we might as well talk about the next big property thing and just talk about the Soup and Green building, which you call what?
I call it the Grand Union Plaza.
The Grand Union Plaza.
I don't care what anybody else calls
right,
it.
I mean-
because that's what it is.
And I call it Soup and Green. You know, that's, for me, that's what it is.
And you know what? You want to hear something funny?
What?
Liam over there is like, I don't know what either
What?
one
Oh,
of
I
these
know
places.
He knows Soups and Greens.
Yeah, I know the soups and greens, and I read the article. What was it? A couple days ago.
Yeah.
They were talking about.
But he doesn't remember the Grand Union.
No,
I
that's
don't
probably.
know. I think Grand Union was closed down before you were born.
Before he was even thought of, probably.
Oh, wait a minute. When were you born again?
1998.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Before
Grand
he was
Union
even
was
thought
closed
of.
down, wasn't it?
Yeah, before he was even thought of.
years after I was born.
So,
already-
no, it's definitely,
Yeah.
it's definitely, yeah, because it was in the 90s that Grand Union closed down, right?
My memory for those guys, you know, if it was more than 2 weeks ago, I don't remember.
Susan says she remembers Grand Union. I'm pretty sure
Oh,
it
I
closed
remember
down.
Grand Union.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Grand
Yeah.
Union, First National,
Everybody.
A&P.
Oh yeah.
I mean, all
Yeah.
of those national chains.
Yeah.
We had at one time
Put
we
your
had
mic
three, if
back
not
on,
four.
Steve. You're gonna talk. You need to put your mic back on.
We had 3 or 4 national supermarkets in town.
Yeah.
But I think we need to lead by saying that the city does not own that building.
No,
It's
no,
not
absolutely
owned by
not.
the city at all. This is something
It's owned
that
by the
was-
Davis family.
Right,
Yeah.
the Davis family. This is something that was brought to the city, just like maybe a little different than it was brought to the tenants. But I know that, you know, when I first shared the Times-Argus article this morning, there was a lot of comments of people that were really angry that the city wasn't more transparent with the tenants and the people. Well, it wouldn't have been the responsibility of the city to be transparent to the tenants of that
No.
building.
Right.
So,
It was not, they were not connected until they needed to be, until the deal was done between Duke Construction and the Davis family. And then then it kind of comes out that, okay, this is what's going on.
Yeah, it's, the Dew and the Davis family, they are a separate entity from the city.
Right, and the city did not own it.
They were working this out themselves. That's what it sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, hey, community block grant development grants.
Right. What?
Mamacita.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, pretty much, it's something that they're saying. Okay,
yeah.
maybe now we can do a project there. Maybe it's something that we can do.
That's the only reason why the city's involved.
Is because of that, and because maybe and obviously they would need permitting, different things like that to construct what they want to construct. But as far as the city, people being angry because the city wasn't transparent.
City wasn't involved.
The city wasn't involved, and that's just the way it goes with any real estate transaction. The city doesn't get involved until they're told about the transaction, until they need to get involved.
Right.
But they certainly wouldn't have gone door to door asking any tenant to give any information. And I know a lot of people were really angry about it. And
well, I mean, in defense, I mean, they're first hearing about it from the newspaper, and I can understand.
But their anger is placed in the wrong place, is what I'm saying.
Right, and we understand that, and they just need,
we
just
totally
need
understand
to let
their
people know
anger.
that.
I would be pissed if I found out that way as well.
Yeah.
But
and it
that's
does look like
understandable.
it looks like it's a city thing, just because they're asking the city to put money in through the community development block grants.
Right, to kind of sponsor this project a little bit here.
Well, I mean,
get it off the ground.
The brutal reality is that the cost of developing the cost of development is expensive, and most projects don't do what they call pencil out. It's just that they don't pay for themselves without the infusion of some capital, usually from a municipal source or a government source. I mean, funding, grants, and so on and so forth. Those are what help make up the difference between what the project can earn itself and what the cost of the project is. So that's what these community development block grants are for. Back when the Whalens and Brooks building were torn down, there was $400,000 of a neighborhood stabilization grant. But again, it was an infusion of public monies, grant monies. The same thing with Prospect Heights. There'll be if that's successful, $9 million of public funding just to do the infrastructure up there. Those projects won't happen.
And that's not out of the ordinary.
No.
All towns and ask for are faced with the same thing. They all contribute.
Yes,
to develop.
and the reality is, and this people may not agree with, but the reality is, if there are communities out there who want that money and will use that money and whatever. If it's not like if Barre City wasn't able to access some of this money, that somehow we would save taxpayer dollars. That's not the reality. The reality is that money will go to another community who desperately needs it as well as Barre does. I mean, there are any number of communities who are computing. I think in this round of CDBG grants there was somewhere around $60 to $70 million available, and if I remember right, there was somewhere between $150 and $200 million worth of applications. I mean, the demand is just is overwhelming.
Right, and it's already the money's already allocated. It's already costing. Anyways, it's already allocated. So either it's going to come here and benefit us,
or go somewhere else,
or it'll go somewhere else.
And Judy's asking what type of housing, and it doesn't look like we know exactly
Well,
what.
it says in the article, it
Does
says it's mixed use. So it'd be commercial on the bottom, 63 units on the top of affordable housing. Affordable housing, automatically people go right to Section 8, low income, things like that. And that isn't what affordable housing is. I think it's affordable housing, is what equivalent, and correct me, Steve, if I'm saying it wrong, but to market rate. Is that
well,
what
I think I would call it maybe moderate to market rate.
It doesn't say affordable housing. It doesn't say the type.
I
of
thought
housing.
one of them it said affordable. No? Just 63 units.
Just says 63 units.
And
I
this
thought
is,
one
this
of
is
the
at the
things I
Davis
read-
property?
Yeah, I thought one of the things I read was
That's the
affordable.
North Seminary, the
Oh, the
River
North
Street.
Seminary,
Yeah, that's the
okay.
North Seminary.
Okay.
That's affordable
But
housing.
same thing.
Yeah.
Either way, same thing. Whether it says affordable housing or not, affordable housing doesn't mean immediately horrible things. You know?
Well, I mean, you look at Down Street, which everybody knows my qualms about Down Street and
Mm-hmm.
the taxes and everything else, but they run a tight ship. I mean,
They do.
They do a very good job.
and their proproperties are well kept.
They
and
are
look
well
nice.
kept up, yes, and they don't. I mean, Steve, you were a manager for 14 years. Was
12.
there really any problems with criminal activity in the the Summer Street apartments and stuff?
No, I mean, they run a.
They run a tight ship.
They are an excellent property manager.
Yeah, and you can't complain about that except for the fact the taxes. The way that they do their taxes just really chaps my ass.
Yeah. it's
And
just
I've
the nature of
told
the beast.
Angie that, by the way, and she knows that's how I feel.
Yep.
And we actually had a funny conversation at one point where she was asking me to sign on for the seminary project and get my support as a legislator, and I'm like, I mean, I'll support it, but just so you know. And she's like, I know, blah 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 blah. And
Well, I mean, that's not the
it's
first
what-
time she's
it's what
heard it.
Oh yeah, no, of course not. I'm just the one that just is a constant thorn in their
So
side.
the North Seminary, though, they have said is going to be for affordable housing.
Correct.
Okay.
The River
And then-
Street, I think it's called, or Stevens Branch, something or another.
And then the other one, it's just said mixed use so far.
Yeah, and Patty
Yeah.
says, I'm disappointed that North End is on hold again.
Yeah, though-
it's not on hold. That's one of the projects. It hasn't been put on hold. I don't think that's
Well, I think that when in this
the
article,
Wabi Park one was, but
Right.
that's not necessarily
well, that would
North
be
End. There's
Patty's
still
North End.
correct,
project.
but I think that there's still $10 million, and correct me if I'm wrong, $10 million for the North End to raise up buildings and to build housing still on the North End, if I recall.
No, I think you're right.
Yeah, I think
So-
there's still a lot of focus on the part of the council
Yeah.
to
I mean,
continue
you
to develop
got
North End.
to.
And Wabi Park wasn't arbitrarily shoved aside. I think as the due diligence progressed, it became apparent that it wasn't feasible.
Right.
So it didn't, as it proceeded through the preliminary development phase, it didn't work out.
And I
And
just
Linda's correct. The high rises in the Tilden House is the same situation.
right.
And
I agree. I think it's horrible what has happened, and I hope, and I would love to see one of these buildings say that it's restricted to 55 and up, or
Well, no, she's
working
refusing.
families, or that it's really. I would love to see that happen.
yeah, and she's referring to the taxes specifically.
Yeah, that
and,
too.
And that's correct. The taxes are different. The Barre Housing Authority has a payment in lieu of taxes.
If you're talking Seminary Street apartments, for instance, the fact of the matter is that if there's a 63 apartment building put on that lot, I mean, the amount of taxes that will be generating versus a non-tax generating parking lot, it's just taxes really aren't an issue
Correct.
Right.
No, I
in that
agree.
particular project.
I agree.
On that one,
I
yeah,
agree.
for sure.
And Christina Morris says, I'm curious what affordable is defined as. It's interpretive.
Yeah.
It
It is interpretive, but I think
Yeah,
it's
I don't,
market
I
rate.
would, I don't know the definition, quite frankly.
Yeah, nobody knows the definition of affordable, because what I would consider affordable housing is probably not the same as everybody else. would
Well, it's
Right.
not to
consider
say affordable,
housing.
maybe the eye of the
Right.
beholder, but
Yeah.
I don't know what the textbook definition of
Yeah.
affordable is in terms of price range.
I'm a big proponent of cheap housing. I think we should have the option for cheap housing for folks to buy a house that, is small and puts a roof over your head. And I'm a big proponent of tiny houses.
Yeah,
really
I
am.
mean,
and small
I don't-
houses. I
me
mean, there's
either.
there's no need for, as our society progresses where we're not having children, there's no need for like 3-4 bedroom house apartments.
We could have
or
a tiny
houses
house
anymore.
community.
I'm okay with a tiny house
Me
community.
too. I wouldn't have any.
Steve, you want to move in with the tiny house community? You on?
Yeah,
You on board there?
Yeah, we got 4 tiny house people now.
We could put it up on top of Colby. There's some space up there. Yeah.
I mean, really, I don't see any issue if the home is kept up and it doesn't look horrible and it creates a neighborhood of people that are, young, just trying to get
Forget
start
young.
in life, right?
Old
Young,
people- old
but
people would like
but-
tiny
no,
houses
that's what I was
too.
going to say too. Young and just trying to get started, or the people that are like older and ready to
Downsizing.
downsize and
Ready
not
to
to be in
downsize.
their home anymore,
And-
but they
and
don't
it doesn't even
necessarily
have
want to be
tiny
in an
homes.
apartment.
It could be like smaller homes, like
Yeah, just smaller
600,
homes.
700 square foot. I mean,
Yeah, that's
just-
a tiny home to most.
yeah, I know. Anyway,
But yeah, I don't see the problem with that either. But that's, I think, all of our housing stuff for tonight.
Yeah.
And it is, I mean, it's unfortunate the way it came out, but it came out the way it did. But people have to know the difference that they're placing their anger in the wrong place right here, right now. And I know a lot of people said they were going to come to council meeting tomorrow night. That's really not going to do a lot of good either, because there's nothing the council can do about
yeah.
a purchase of a building that doesn't belong to them. No more than the city could get involved if you put your house on the market and you sell it tomorrow to somebody
Right.
that you don't like. The city can't get involved in that either. It's just not.
So let's move on, because there's another topic of conversation we can have that Steve's here and might have some. Like,
We're just gonna hold the beer.
we're gonna-
Poor dogs in
We're
the
gonna.
truck.
Well, this I know. This particular.
I gotta go.
You do gotta go. Well, we're going to talk about the drought. Let me just give the rundown of the weather
drought.
that's coming up. So today, obviously, we had some showers. Tomorrow, light rain, 70, high of 70, low of 54. Thursday, heavy showers, 63, 52. Friday, light rain. Saturday, light rain, 72, 52. Clear on Saturday, and Sunday which is 73, 52. And Sunday, light rain, 68, 48. Then Monday is clear, and then Tuesday's going to be clear. And then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, according to my app, says it's all clear, which is perfect because I'm going to have my trike fixed this weekend, and I'll be
Awesome.
able to ride my trike into work next week.
Awesome.
I'm excited. But that being said, let's talk about the drought. Obviously, it's really good we're getting some water here, and as I know that Raylene posted about the drought and how the Dix Reservoir, during your 14 years, what do you? I mean, we've never had this happen
Well,
before.
Yes, we have.
we had one drought period where we were getting pretty concerned about this time of year. We were watching it quite closely, and I think many years ago there had been an emergency plan to pump water into the Dix Reservoir, and I can't remember if that was from behind the Eastbury Dam. I wasn't involved with it. I only heard about it, but we came close once, and I think that was probably, I'm going to guess it was in like 2014
I
or
was going to say it was
2015.
yeah, mid 2000s. Yeah.
But and I've been thinking about that just as the drought came, and I know we had to deal with that years ago. But it was good to hear that we were at least 6 inches away from the mandate. In fact, I think it was at that time that that's where the development of the mandatory public notification system came in, and the progressively stricter restrictions on water use. That plan was developed back then.
Well, I know we're pretty close. We're 2 feet away. Granted, now that might be different considering we are getting some rain this week, thankfully.
A lot more on
it's-
Thursday is the projection. Thursday will be the rainier of all the days.
Yeah. We had a nice strong shower this morning for about
Yeah.
an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe. I was hoping that would continue for the day. It didn't.
Yeah.
It developed just as they forecast it would. Heavier showers in the morning, and then they'll tail off. And I don't. When I came down, it wasn't raining. They were predicting some rain this evening, but I don't know if it's materializing or not.
I just want to be able to use my trike, so I don't want it to rain too much. I'm just saying. I'm just going to point out that I'm very committed to using my trike, and my
Yeah.
motor's coming tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I want to be able
Wonderful
to
news.
use it.
Wonderful news.
Yes.
Michael forgot how to drive.
Yeah, no kidding. You know what they did? Just like completely off topic. They sent me a link to how to put it in. I had already taken the thing out.
A lot of good that did.
Yeah, they sent me the link to how to put the motor in and everything else, and it was an unlisted link. And I said, I messaged him back. I'm like, this is an unlisted link and how-to tutorial. Do you have others?
Yeah.
Because there's no information online about how to maintain this bike. They have not responded to me. Anyway.
I'm sure not.
No.
Judy says that her rain gauge said 3/4 of an inch for today.
That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, you need a lot more, but I didn't even think it was be that much.
Yeah. Good deal.
All right.
Okay, I think I'm gonna.
You're gonna
I will
take
bow
off?
out now.
Well,
But
Steve, thank you for coming.
Yeah,
I really
Yes,
appreciate
thank
it.
you,
Enjoyed meeting
as
you.
I didn't
always.
give you a hug, so I do apologize.
That's
for your
okay.
hug.
But
We'll catch up.
thank you for coming.
All right, I appreciate it. I
Good
enjoy
to
it.
see you.
It's always fun.
Go save the
Thanks,
pup.
Steve.
Okay, we'll see you later.
Yep. All right. So moving on to, so Berlin voters will once again decide the fate of a proposed year-round recreation pavilion. The select board placed a new $1.8 million bond request on for November. So
I'm not,
So-
and I'm not gonna lie, that makes me sad, truthfully.
why does it make you sad?
Because I don't know, we have the odd. Montpelier has a great. I just feel like we're all so close.
You saying that we should have a regional recreation? That's the way
Yeah.
we probably should have it.
I mean,
Yeah.
the auditorium is, all the schools use it. It's the place to have a basketball game. People have their tournaments from all over.
Definitely
They
a
come
fun
here
place to have a basketball
play,
game.
and it's a big deal to play at the auditorium. And
Yeah.
so it makes me a little bit sad that they would be trying to have their own. When we're right down the hill, and we should all be trying to work together when it comes to that stuff.
Where are they going to put it?
I don't know. They're doing a whole lot of things up in Berlin. The community center, it's been part of a big project for, several years, a vision and a project for a while now. And I think the development that they're doing is great. I know a lot of people would say, never mind the auditorium, we'll keep the auditorium and you take the courthouse. I've heard that a lot.
There's
Real
no
lot,
fun at the courthouse.
a real lot, that they could go ahead and put the courthouse up there
They could.
instead,
I
so
think that
that the
would be a great
courthouse was
idea.
more centralized.
It should be 100% more centralized. We should put the courthouse up there.
And then
Raylene's not gonna. She's not biting. She's not biting.
No,
which
well-
is actually really good of
No.
her. Surprisingly, really good.
Well,
She is
I
not
put it out
biting.
there to begin with, Michael.
I know.
So
I know. But you didn't bite with me like.
yeah,
Throwing it there.
I just know that it would be great if that were to ever really happen. I know it's been talked about a few times, but in all seriousness, it would just make, when I read that they were doing it for like their own municipal, it just made me a little bit sad, because we have such a nice facility here that I think that we could easily work together to have a partnership in maintaining and have one place for all our kids.
Yeah. People can't afford the rent at the auditorium. Berlin has offered free skating rinks since at least 1985. Planning on right where town the planning they're planning on right where the town office is now, which I actually don't know where that is.
I guess I didn't
You
realize
don't
you
know
had
where
to
it is? It's on Shed Road.
pay for the auditorium.
You go up past.
It's
the
on
welcome
Shed Road. Oh,
So-
I know where that is too.
No, listen. You go up
Listen,
past.
Linda.
Shut up. Listen. You go up past the Welcome Center, up past Shaw's, to the four-way. Take a right, and it's like maybe a quarter of a mile on the right is
Okay.
how you get to the police department, the town offices, and they do have an skating rink outside, right there. That is free for use. But so was Willie Street for many
Yeah.
years until it got demolished. But it's an outdoor rink. It's a nice little rink. It's all lit. It's really nice. It's cute.
You want to talk about her?
But we should offer some more free skate nights
Well, I'm sure we do.
or days or something
You
here
want
and
to
there.
talk about Hartamal Singh? Hartamal Singh? I mean, it's 34, a Barre resident originally from India who was in the U.S. illegally, has been charged with in federal court for lying on a firearm purchase form while trying to buy a Ruger semi-automatic pistol at R&L Archery in Barre.
Gotcha.
Authorities say Singh, that's not the right pronunciation. I know I'm saying
It
that's
could be.
wrong. I'm pretty
His
sure I'm
last name,
saying
you
that's-
mean? Or
Yeah. Falsely denied his attempts to stay under DACA and ordered his removal. His record includes robbery convictions in New York, a burglary, multiple domestic assault complaints in Barre, and a 2021 DUI arrest where he blew twice the legal limit. Federal prosecutors argued he is a danger to the community and a flight risk and now faces up to 16 months in prison, more likely deportation. And I'll just point out that if you
screw
are...
prison, just deport. We don't want to pay the money.
I'm like looking at that, I'm like, listen, you got like robbery convictions, multiple domestic assaults.
And he's been here for 22 years. So in 22 years, you didn't do what it took to become a citizen, but you
Well,
took
he was under DACA though, right?
the whole time.
Oh, wait. So falsely claimed that he was in the country lawfully, even though immigration officials had already denied his attempts to stay under DACA.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
And
So if
for
he wasn't under
22
DACA,
years-
why the hell is he still here?
Right. And for 22 years, he was here and wasn't doing what he needed
Yeah.
to do to stay
Well,
here.
he was too busy robbery.
Because he was too busy committing crimes. So, if that's what you choose to do instead of, then I have no sympathy in that
Wait, for the-
situation at all. There are some situations where I have a lot of sympathy for
Yeah.
them, for the situation. But this is not one of them.
So you posted that online, right? You posted that.
I did.
How'd that go?
Well, a lot of people felt the same way that we feel right now. Get the hell out. And some people were like, death penalty.
Anybody-
whatever. They just were done.
Just for the record.
They were like,
no
done.
to death penalty.
Yeah.
I'm actually like anti-death penalty.
But I
across
really
the
saw
board.
that comment. That was really like one of the comments. But or a couple of the comments. Like a few people really felt that way because of the domestics and the.
Well,
they
and-
felt that purchasing a gun and having guns was terroristic, and they worried about him being here, and especially the way our justice system
Anyone
works.
defending? Was there-
in out? So on the actual article itself, people there were a few defending. On our post, no. No, I don't know. You know, it's probably our following. I'm sure. You know, if you're more than likely, I mean, I don't. How do I say this in the right way? If you're a bleeding heart, more than likely you don't follow 802 Scoop. But if you have a heart,
Well,
if you have a heart, you absolutely follow it. But if you're like a bleeding heart, we want to save everybody and sit around the fire pit and sing Kumbaya, and that's going to make everything better. You probably don't follow 802 Scoop. Because more than likely I've pissed you off more than once and you just don't bother anymore. And that's just the straight up truth of the matter.
I don't know if the bleeding heart comment. I think it's more of a leftist, like.
Well, I was
fascistic-
trying not to make it a political thing.
Yeah, no, I know, but that's probably. What
So
it's closer
bleeding
to
heart sounds better than leftist.
Yeah, but you can be a bleeding heart. I mean, like I'm a bleeding heart at times.
For
Right.
what? Maple creamies? Like,
Oh, that was harsh. That was really harsh.
well,
Sometimes I can be like a little bleeding heart. Don't give me your crap. You refer to me as a softie. Don't give me that crap.
you are a softie.
Okay, you shut up. Anyway, so obviously, any thoughts, Liam, on that one?
Oh, gosh.
34-year-olds, because that's about your age, right? How old are you? Oh, I keep on asking this question. You're like
27.
So you're 27. So it's
He's a little
around
older
you.
than
He's a
me,
little
yeah.
older than you. A little older.
He's younger than my kids.
He is, yeah.
I know.
I think I have. I think I have shoes older than him.
Oh, I definitely do. These jeans are older than him. Yeah, I had these since high school. I think I bought these in my sophomore year of high school.
Wait a minute. You know what? My suit that I wore at the graduation last year, I think is your age. No.
There you go.
It's 2 years younger than you, or 2 years younger, because I got it in like 2020, or 2000.
1988, baby.
1988. Wow, that's almost older than me.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see here. What else have we got? We did talk about that. You want to give us any information on that newsletter? Any comments you want to make on it?
No, there's.
The Barrytown.
It seems like a lot of people are retiring. I read
yes,
two
from
or-
the Barrytown newsletter. That's what he's
Barrytown,
referring to.
right.
There was quite a few people
Quite
that
a few
were
people
retiring.
retired. So it was nice to see we got a couple more people on the ambulance and the fire department. And I think I saw we had a couple more police officers too.
Nice.
So that's always good.
Absolutely.
And
you did the bulk trash
The
event
bulk
was
trash
on Saturday.
On Saturday, I heard that
was
went-
on Saturday, and I heard
really
it went well.
Yep.
yeah, are they doing it again anytime soon?
Not until spring now.
No.
Right,
Oh,
it'll be.
sadness. Lawn waste hour sites, but that's
Have been extended.
have been extended. Yep. All right. Okay.
Lawn waste, they're talking about like leaves and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Yep.
And the cemeteries are going to be closing soon, so they close. They're
November.
each are under the care of a dedicated cemetery sexton and seasonal staff from April through October. So in November they'll be closing. All right. Well, I'm sure that we'll be getting a new update soon because it comes out about this time, right? I think it does.
Yep. Towards the end of the month.
Yeah.
All right.
A new newsletter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
What
didn't-
else do we have?
What else? What else do we have? Well, we have. Let's see. We've got. Want to talk about the AFP and VPIRG rally?
Woo, woo. Did you come? No, you didn't
No,
come
I
down.
didn't
You should have
go.
come down.
He didn't go.
I didn't go.
You would have liked
I-
it. You would have really loved it, enjoyed it.
Yeah, I got tied up at work and then I had other stuff going on.
Yeah. So
Big
America,
website stuff.
for
Which is
folks,
good.
Yeah.
for folks that didn't know, on Thursday night, Americans for Prosperity, which is a nonprofit group, it's a national group that promotes affordable policies and limited government policies. And a bunch of people were very unhappy with that because they
had a protest.
They had a protest, and they protested the billionaires, which
It's laughable.
which is absolutely hilarious. But because what I find really hilarious about it is they're like, oh, the dark money of the AFP. Let me just tell you, all the nonprofits, they all have that quote and unquote dark money because they get their money from like George Soros. They get it from the Koch
Political
brothers.
nonprofits.
Yeah.
Not
yeah.
all nonprofits.
No. I mean, like, obviously, local churches don't have that, or, Turning Point Center of.
Okay, I'm just clarifying.
they don't-
You said
they don't
all,
have it.
all of them.
But like VPIRG and, Vermont Conservation Voters, they all traffic in the dark money.
Of course they do.
And I'll say this, we have one billionaire in the state of Vermont. Did you know that? One billionaire.
The question is, do you know who it is?
Who is
Yeah, his name
Who is
was
it?
Abel,
I don't know.
something like that. Jay Abel. You want to know what he's donated to?
nothing?
I'll tell you. Not Americans for Prosperity, but guess what? He has given money to like Vermont Conservation Voters or whatever it is. So, yeah, don't talk to me about don't talk to me about
Yeah. I can
the
tell you that our
billionaires and-
coffers at the GOP are not overflowing with
No,
crazy
it's not.
amounts of money. And each of our elected officials has a lot of money come out of their own pockets.
No kidding.
Because
I took a loan out.
because
I
we
took a
can
loan out of.
just to become a representative
Yeah.
of your city. You took on that debt on your own for the love and passion of
Yeah.
what you do. And that happens with the majority of politicians around
Yeah.
here, whether you're state or local. Granted, some state officials, some state reps, depending on where you live, who you are, where you're involved with, get more money. But for the majority of them do not. And the majority of you fund your own campaigns and we
It's
try to have
expensive.
little fundraisers where we're selling raffle tickets or pulling out teeth to get people to help. And, we volunteer a lot of our own time, blood, sweat, tears, literally licking hundreds of stamps because, whatever.
Yeah.
It's a lot. And it's funny to me to think that that we would even fall for that narrative here. And what is more interesting to me is that, do you remember when this is the new council in May kind of like took over, and one of the things that was said, or let's just when President Trump became president, and the first council meeting after that happened, the conversation, and I've gone back and I forgot to bring the notes with me, the minutes. But there were counselors that were really concerned that the politics were going to bleed into the city.
Well, that was me. I was concerned about politics
no,
from the
you
national
weren't.
life
You
years ago.
weren't. Yeah, but you weren't. It wasn't you that was sitting on council. But there were council members here that were worried about that bleeding into city politics, which it does a little bit because it all trickles down, right? We're look at these grants, federal grants. The feds get the money to the state, whatever. But those same people are infusing like this, like national politics and hate and into the local stuff. It's insane to me to watch. We had a really good night, though.
We did.
We should
And
wrap
it was
up
a
as
great
that
it was a great conversation.
with a lot of people from
Yeah.
from other political affiliations. It was Republicans, Democrats, progressives. Only
Yeah.
one progressive I knew that was there, but there were some Democrats, Republicans. There was good conversation, Everybody got along. There was no, we had to have freaking security, for God's sakes.
I know.
Bless our Barre City Police. The chief of police came with another officer. I'm sorry that I have forgotten your name.
Ehrlich? Erlich?
Yeah. I
believe.
Ehrlich. Yeah. And they were there. They stayed right up till the very end, even though you all talk and talk and talk.
Well, we are
nauseam
politicians. I mean,
after.
politicians talk forever.
And
I
so
mean, you can't expect anything less.
But it was a nice event, and it was informative, and it was good. I would have liked to see more people come, because I think that there could have been even, greater conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. It would have been nice to have, somebody younger that could have come. Do you know anybody that could have come that's younger, maybe 27, 28?
Why do I get the feeling you're looking at me?
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I would never just look at you randomly and
Right.
go back to like, hey, Liam, are you coming? Yeah, I'm coming.
Yeah. It's where it's at, though. We really do have
I'm only
to,
picking. You were busy.
Yeah, we do
were
have
busy.
to provoke a younger audience. We
Yeah,
have to be
absolutely.
able to provoke a younger audience, but at the same time, we need
Maybe, how we could provoke a younger audience? We can go out and use chalk, and we can write all over the city. Does that sound like a great idea, so business owners have to clean it up?
Yeah, and we can blow bubbles and skip too while we're doing it.
Well, no, he knows a guy that drives a bubble thing around.
I
the
do.
garbage
I
truck.
do know
So
a guy
just
that...
get Dan the Pirate or whatever his name
Yeah, I
is
could
to
do that.
drive
I
around.
could do that.
The bubble.
I will say, you know what? It does, because I think it was Saturday I was driving, and I saw somebody that in front of their business, they ended up putting chalk all over it, and changing what was there.
Right.
But, and with all due respect, I mean, it's like, not everybody wants the message that,
Is being put in front of their business.
Yeah.
And especially, first of all, yes, it's great, it's not, what did they say? It's not destructive because it's chalk and you can just sweep it off. With a little effort. So, I mean, it's not
I
quite
get
that
it.
easy, but you should make sure that your message, because I'm sure that the messages that were on the north end of town in regards to the police department were not warranted or wanted or,
No, we'll
So-
get to that. We'll get to that shortly, because you know what? That's not on the list.
we're going to
talk about it
Oh,
now.
yeah, it
We're
was
gonna-
on
you know
my
what?
list. We
Hold up.
each get a list.
Hold
It was
up.
on mine.
Hold up. You know what? Let's transition off from that conversation and talk about the jackass on the belt line that is slightly entitled.
And he, or they
They.
posted their video and titled the video
Excessive force.
excessive force.
Which it was not. Let me just tell you,
It was far from excessive
The
force.
restraint that those men had. Did you watch that video? You watched it.
Was it yesterday? I watched it either yesterday or on Monday.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, the restraint. I don't know. Like,
I would have twisted that.
I would.
I would have twisted him up. Like 2 seconds, I would have twisted him up. I would have been done. It bit me, spit at me. Oh, hell no.
Yes.
Broken jaw.
Yeah.
Like, you just spit at me.
Listen, I would be calling
No.
Barb. I'd be like, Barb, get your ass down here.
Yeah.
You know what you need to bring.
Yeah, bring the taser. Yeah.
I mean, come on. That was absolutely insanity. I mean, and it's obvious it's not the first time, because they said in the video, like, we've told you you can't do that.
And they admitted several times in the video.
Yeah.
They admitted to threatening the officer with a pew pew, and told him to
Kill
off
themselves.
himself and everything else. While they were sitting there on the ground.
Well,
restraint
there was
is
one
amazing.
comment. I will say there was one comment that I looked at and was like, you know what? Two things can be true at once, right? It's illegal to be on the belt line, and we should have a bike lane. on the Beltline. There should be a bike path specifically from Barre City to the
Cha-ching.
hospital. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
But, okay. A year ago, we did not need a bike path on the Beltline.
Right.
But now Michael has a trike. So we need a fucking bike lane. You piss up a rope, Michael. You know, what the hell?
I'm just saying that I can
You're just
understand. Now,
And then I could ride to Walmart. You know, like, get in the Jeep.
Yeah.
Or go around.
You know what, though? I would never go on the Beltline. I would never go on the Beltline because I know it's illegal
Yeah, and it always has been.
and it's dangerous. You
It
know,
always has been.
Yeah, you
And
go
people fly. The speed limit is 50.
I fly.
Yeah, I mean, the speed limit is 50, but people rarely go 50.
right.
That's
I
a
was just gonna
suggestion.
say.
That's just a suggestion, right, Liam?
Yeah.
That's
Right,
just a
yeah.
suggestion.
It's
That's a
dangerous.
minimum speed.
It's dangerous. But
Judy says they was very lucky. It could have gone the wrong way with the wrong guy. Kudos to the cops. And
Absolutely.
100%.
he kept his composure with that person so
While
well.
he's bleeding.
And when they got back to the station and he refused to take him out of the car, you know, I understood that too. I wouldn't have either until other people were there, body camera or not.
And-
there is no way I would have let them out of the car.
And Linda says there shouldn't be a bike lane when people are doing excess of 60. Correct. Not a
Yeah,
bike lane.
agreed.
I may have said a bike lane. What I meant a bike path that goes up. Not the difference between a bike lane and a bike path is that there's a separation. So you would have it separated by whatever.
Oh, yeah, what Montpelier has.
Difference between a bike path in 2024 and the difference between a bike path now
Wait a minute.
is Michael has a tricycle.
Someone's going to yell at me for being naughty. Anyway, so yeah, that was insane. Did you enjoy the video?
Oh,
Did
yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
I good golly, I don't know what to say. I just
But
again,
the fact is that
restraint was
that
amazing.
same person put the video out there and titled it that, and so
it's also the same person that's writing crap on the road, right?
That's writing crap on the road. That's putting stickers on our front window that says "Back the Blue." That one of the purple stickers. There might even be on your keyboard still, underneath the keyboard, the slide out. Oh my! On the desk.
Oh yeah, yep.
So and so those can be found actually.
F the police, stop accepting corruption.
So they have
gross.
ordered hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of those and had them shipped wherever. They post pictures of those exact stickers on their Facebook page. So, but this same person talks about being homeless and da 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 da, and stop buying stickers.
I know. Here's your money. So Judy says, bike path, don't get me going. Or started. And then Judy says, waste of money. How many people do you see using
Amen,
the ones that
Judy.
we have now?
Start registering your bikes and paying for inspections and all that stuff. And then we'll talk about it. When there's been a lot of revenue from them. A lot of revenue from bike registrations.
I am helping the environment by riding the trike.
My Subaru turns off at red lights.
Yeah, so doesn't my Jeep unless I press the A button
Yep.
to turn that off, which I do.
I tried to turn mine off, but it still goes off.
Oh,
If you're pedal heavy and don't brake hard, it won't come on anyway. Just saying.
we're all going to burn in hell for our anti-environmental stances, according to VPER.
My acceleration time is off because I have to wait for it
No
to go.
signs indicating it's a bike path to nowhere. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
We could talk about that bike path up there. I'll say this. The bike path at dusk is a little sketchy. And when it's sketchy, I go 15 miles per hour. I don't care who's in front of me. Just get out of my way. I don't want to be stopped. And I felt really bad that one night. I don't do it anymore.
Oh, no.
Well, there was like people walking on the bike path when it was dark out. And I was creeped out, and I didn't want to stop because, let's be honest, the bike path's creepy at night. But I know you don't care about VPerg. I'm sorry. All right, I won't talk about it anymore.
Well, we haven't talked about that in a while.
No, I know. I keep on making snarky comments about them, which isn't very nice.
Oh.
That's just because they were not nice to me. Anyway. Moving on. Want to talk about Jimmy Kimmel?
Yeah, that was a thing and a half,
can.
wasn't it? I'm just curious if, because he was suspended and then obviously he came back after talks with ABC or whatever.
But they're still not
But
airing his
right,
stuff.
some stations are still not airing it. So I'm curious how long the overarching company can continue to push it until they just have to say no.
Well, Disney can make lots of shitty decisions and get away with it. So
Right.
I'm assuming
But
they can afford to
how
But-
many stations
slap him along.
can they lose without airing it and still have it be? I mean, they have to make money off of
I'll
it.
say
right?
this.
This is a tough
wasn't it,
thing,
Wasn't
though.
it ABC? No, I know. This is the problem. Like, I don't want him to lose his job, but
He's not
at the
pinching
same time,
pennies.
Roseanne lost her job, and she was a hell of a lot better than he was. Funnier and way better.
Well, that's a matter of opinion.
Well, I think Roseanne was funny.
Yeah, I don't.
Roseanne
I
was
thought
funny.
she was obnoxious as
She
hell.
was
But I think that
obnoxious. It's
Jimmy
great.
is too. I don't watch any of that stuff. I love David Letterman. Used
David
to watch
Letterman's
him.
funny.
I don't know that he was funny, but I liked
Greg
watching.
Gutfeld's funny.
I've never watched him either. It's hard because there's this of the situation. A lot of people have said a lot of really shitty things about a man that was murdered because they didn't like his views. But then we get into that we can't silence people and censor people.
No, I know.
And so, whether or not we approve of what he said, that means we do what we tell people to do here. Then turn the channel.
Right.
Or don't follow.
Right.
If you don't like what we're saying, if we don't like what we're doing, if you think that, you hate everything about this, then just either scroll by or don't follow. Some days we're going to do things that you love, and some days we're going to do things that you hate.
Right.
That's
I
just
get
life.
that.
That
It
part
just
of it.
frustrates-
But we
well,
can't damn people.
I'm not
for
suggesting that we should.
Okay.
And I'm not suggesting that. And
Good.
I feel very uncomfortable about the whole, you say something and you get the axe.
I mean, if you feel that
But you know
way-
what? I felt that way with Roseanne. I felt that way with all the other people that have been unceremoniously hacked from whatever position they're in because of their speech or because of what they say. And it feels uncomfortable with Jimmy, and it feels uncomfortable with Roseanne. And I keep going back to her because she's the one that comes to my mind first. There's others that, have lost their job, over things.
Yeah.
It's good. It is good to tune in to hear the latest. Yes. But
We try to bring
Right.
you the latest. Here.
Right,
We
and
do.
just and 99.9% of the time, the latest is extremely unfiltered.
yeah. You know what though? You know what I really am okay with canceling? Jerry. I'm okay with canceling Jerry.
Jerry.
Ice cream? I
Oh,
saw that in your list.
canceling Jerry. Well, I mean, he canceled,
He canceled himself.
Right, he canceled himself. That was a real dumbass move on his part.
Yeah.
He
You
didn't
know what?
sell to begin
Right.
with.
Didn't
and
he quit?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He quit.
But he wasn't operationally there in 40 years.
No,
he didn't hold an actual position.
No, I don't think. I think they had like some sort of ceremonial position, like Ben and Jerry's. Oh,
Right.
exciting. You sold the damn business 20, 30 years ago. Guess what? You're not going to have control over it.
Right.
You make choices. You got to live with them.
Yeah, especially to somebody like who he sold it to. It was not
Right,
like
you
some
sold
little
it to,
mom
like,
and pop.
right. It wasn't like a mom and pop. It was Unilever.
Yeah.
Out of in
Germany, right?
I said it was Germany, but I guess it's
Britain.
England or British or whatever.
Well, they have cool accents.
Yeah, they have great accents. They're wonderful. And
Some
you
good
know what?
food.
They just, I mean, it's not French accents, but those are the best accents.
You're right.
But, you know, 'cause they can-
And now
I
they have
don't
some
know.
good ice
Have
cream.
you ever heard an English person say "f you"? They say it so politely.
Have
Like
you-
if you can
so-
say that with an
please,
English accent,
please,
it's like
please,
perfect.
Please, please,
Right.
So
telling you.
when I think of French, I think of do you know who the oh my
Spit
goodness.
it out, Michael.
Oh my goodness, from The Matrix.
Oh,
Mangivinian. Oh,
No,
man,
I
can't
know
think of
nothing
it.
about The
Oh
Matrix.
man.
I don't watch that stuff.
And he's talking and he talks about French and he starts cussing people out in French. It's like wiping your ass with silk.
Do you remember? You know what my last name is, right?
Excuse my language.
You know that I spent
Renee.
like a lot of my childhood in Canada, and my
Mangivinian.
grandparents spoke French. and-
Mangivinian. I can't think of. I know it's something like that. Mangivinian or something. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know about you sometimes.
Anyway,
total softy.
I know. I'm just.
So is that all we have for tonight?
Well, we could also talk about. There was one other hot topic that we could chat about real quick.
Hot off the press.
Yeah, I don't.
The
want to
trip?
Actually. No, I'm not going to.
Okay.
I've decided.
Okay,
I've
I knew what
decided
you
I
were
don't
going to
wanna
talk about,
that.
but
No. You know what?
It's your
we'll
it's
end.
your conversation
We'll
to have.
end. Yeah,
With-
no, I don't want to talk
with
about that.
Jerry being an ass.
No.
Oh,
we'll
okay.
end with congratulations to James Bean from Bakersfield, who won and broke the record with a 1,814 pound pumpkin.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good job. Good job.
Who's our business spotlight this week?
Oh, Ruth Year's Auto. We got to give Ruth Year's Auto some love.
Absolutely. I was actually just there today visiting with Don and Brittany. They were there, and they have some new stuff happening over there. They've a new family member has joined the team. So Don's brother Dennis has retired from Volkswagen after 45 years as their service manager, and he's spending a couple of days a week over at Ruth Year Auto. So that's nice. They've come out with a new logo that is super like crisp, clean, sharp. Val over at Yipes, the lovely Val helped them design that, create that. That's all out there. So there's some new merch. You'll see some new advertising for them. They're also looking for a mechanic. They need to add to their it's a growing business, and they have a lot of high-tech stuff over there. They've gotten bigger and bigger, and they have a great shop. Did you know they purchased like this huge, it's a fan/air conditioner unit for their garage because it gets so bloody hot for the guys that are out there working in the summer. It doesn't anymore because they want to keep them comfortable. So it's a super good place to work Monday through Friday. You're paid hourly, not by the job. It's just, and it's a family environment, and you become like part of the family there. So great things going on. Undercoating. Right now you can call, schedule your. Will you pull up their phone number for me? Because I'm not going to drag it off the top of my head today for some reason. But you call and schedule your winter maintenance now. Don't be like me. Don't wait until November. Schedule it now.
And you can call them at 802-622-0080.
And yeah, so winter maintenance right now, oil changes, different fluids, use different fluids in the winter, and then maybe a car recondition, tire swap over, undercoating, any of that stuff. At least get on the schedule because they book up fast, and then you'll be Thanksgiving and you can't go to dinner because you can't travel there because you have slicks on.
And there's 3 feet of snow.
Yeah. So don't do that. Get it in now.
Be better.
All right. Well, you guys have a wonderful evening.
You too.
And thank you for watching the Barry Beat podcast. And we hope you have.
Can I say one more thing? Because I just read a
Yes.
comment. I don't want anybody to think that I thought they were complaining. I didn't say what we said or I said about the building at the start, at the old Grand Union Plaza, that, that people were complaining or going to complain to the city. I didn't say that negatively towards anybody that made those. I just want them to place the anger in the right place. And I would feel awful if a bunch of people came to city council tomorrow night, packed the house to talk about this and to take their time. Some people would need to close their business to take the time to have that conversation with something that they have no control over. They can't help. Could you, absolutely go to the landlord, talk to them, maybe talk to the new buyer to see, what are the options for you to stay or why weren't you notified, whatever. And then if there's something, if we get further down the road and the city's involved, then reach out to whoever your rep is. I think in that area it'd be Dawn, right? No, it would be Jeff.
Jeff and Amanda.
Jeff and Amanda for that. And, I'm not saying it negatively. I feel awful. If I had a business in there and I woke up and opened the paper or opened my computer and read that, I'd be freaking hot too. I'd be pissed. And I don't blame them. My heart would have been in my throat and I would have been like, what the hell? It's kind of like, a really good friend of mine has been renting from this same landlord now for 7.5 years. And she found out that the building was sold when she got a notice from the new landlord saying, you have 30 days to move. I'm turning this into a 1-family. So it's the same sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, and I feel awful for these people that, are all of a sudden like holding their breath saying, what are we going to freaking do? Yeah.
All right. Have a great night, folks.